You do not believe in eternal hell. I do not believe in an eternal hell, and neither do you. There are paths we go down in this lifetime, and there are consequences for the paths we choose. Some people will undoubtedly sentence themselves to a period of spiritual cleansing due to their actions in this life, and that period may last for the duration of an age, and they may lose what they perceived as their identity, body, and soul in the process, but they too will come out the other side, discovering a sliver of light they may have lost contact with centuries before death, and that seemingly foreign object is where their true soul resides. Nurtured by God, they will grow out of that soul, re-individualized, redeemed, and made new. This is the truth, and it is what I believe wholeheartedly. And it is what you believe, whether or not you know it yet. For the truth has been written into our souls, and through the Holy Spirit it has been revealed to us deep down inside. This is what brings us peace. In fact, I'm not sure I've ever met someone who does believe in eternal hell. Someone who believes that nearly all of the people they are in contact with every single day is facing an upcoming sentence of unending torment. And if I have, that person was the true definition of a psychopath, because they weren't acting in any manner consistent with even the slightest presence of empathy in the face of this belief. If someone were to believe in this unfathomable danger of endless misery, pain, and horror lurking at the end of the tunnel, and also had any love at all in their soul, they would undoubtedly be reduced to either a shriveling mess, weeping uncontrollably, and begging anyone within earshot to convert, or they would be made an extremist, shouting threats to anyone who would not listen to their pleas of warning. In both cases, these reactions would be justifiable, because they would be reacting appropriately to an unfathomable threat that everyone was ignoring. The extremity of the threat would entirely justify any means of conversion, since the benefit would outweigh the cost. Let me put it in perspective. There's a tidal wave that only you know about, and it's coming towards a city. You have 5 minutes to escape and a bus to load up with civilians. You nicely ask those around you if they want to come. If they don't believe you and refuse, would you drive away, or would you try to wrestle with them, dragging them onto the bus to safety? If you truly cared about them, you'd drag them on board. And if you drove away, you'd have to admit that you didn't really care at all. Some people in history truly seemed to believe in an eternal hell, and their actions reflected that. But those actions today are universally considered reprehensible. I'm assuming you are among the rest of humanity when we say that the long history of convert or die type evangelization is the largest proof that Satan helped steer the ship in the propagation of Christianity and its spread. Satan deceived mankind into subverting the cause and producing the opposite outcome of what Christ intended. However, I argue that if you are right, and there is an unending pit of flames, the men who tortured, killed, and spilled blood in the name of Christianity are far better men than you, because they cared enough about their fellow man to give him a peek behind the curtain concerning what is to come while they still had a chance to change it. But that is not my takeaway, thank God, because luckily, just as a moral man who knows about the tidal wave and has an opportunity to save lives would do, Christ drags us out of hell, all of us, and our only role is to spread the good news that Christ holds the keys to heaven and hell and will free all the prisoners. This doesn't mean there is nothing to work towards here, nor does it mean that there is nothing which some humans may miss out on. These are the houses built upon the foundation. These are the bodies Christ gives life to. These are the families we build and bind in love, so they may be our heavenly reward. But we often forget that Christ laid the foundation under all mankind, and that foundation is unbreakable. So warn others that what we do in life warrants consequence. But stop attaching the word never-ending to the sentence, because it mischaracterizes and slanders our ever-merciful God. But also because it shows you don't believe what you are saying. Since your actions don't align with the unfathomably terrible news you preach, they can determine you do not believe in an eternal hell.